All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Snow Creature, 1944. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I love this flick. It's one of those so bad that it's good type movies. I love the movie poster. Half man, half monster, terrorizes city, abducts women, annihilates men. Snow Creature now on the screen for the first time. That is a cool looking movie poster. I love that. The Snow Creature is in 1954. The Snow Creature is a 1954 U.S. science fiction horror film produced and directed by W. Lee Wilder for Planet Film Plays, Inc., written by Miles Wilder and starring Paul Langton. In an undisclosed Himalayan country, Dr. Frank Parrish leads a scientific expedition intent on collecting botanical samples. He encounters difficulties when the wife of the expedition's chief guide is kidnapped. The guide, a Sherpa named Supra, seizes the expedition's guns and takes control of them, of the team, when he is unable to convince Parrish to pursue the Yeti and to save his wife. Parrish, a man of science, is skeptical of the Yeti's existence, but he is forced to participate in Subra's march. Along with his fellow Westerner, a photographer named Peter Wells, Parrish awaits his opportunity to overthrow the renegade Sherpa. However, as the team draws closer to the Yeti, evidence emerges that begins to change Parrish's opinion regarding the creature's existence. Finally, the team makes contact with the Snow Creature, who hurls stones at them from atop his mountain refuge. The expedition tracks the creature to his cave, where they encounter it, along with 2 other Yetis, a female and a young one. Parrish forcefully prevents the enraged Subra from shooting the Yeti, reasoning that the creature is more valuable for science alive. The ensuing fight creates a cave-in. The cave-in kills the female and young Yetis and it knocks the Snow Creature unconscious. The cave-in also enables Parrish and Wells to take control of the Sherpa's guns. Having regained control over the expedition and successfully capturing a live Yeti, Parrish declares that he intends to bring the creature to the U.S. to study it. We love Yeti films on this channel, especially low-budget black and white ones from the 50s. Production company Planet Film Plays. Distributed by United Artists. Release date November 1954. Running time 69 minutes. Country United States and language English. The Yeti is eventually sedated and placed in a telephone booth-sized freezer for transport. Locked inside this freezer, the Yeti is transported to Bombay and thence to California. Upon reaching Los Angeles, Parrish is greeted by reporters who have been made aware of the creature's existence. A U.S. Customs official informs Parrish that the admission of this creature to the U.S. has been made difficult by a newspaper article published by Wells that refers to the creature using the term man, calls him a snowman. The issue is raised whether the snow creature is actually human. And the officials decide to keep the creature in quarantine until an anthropologist can determine the question of the creature's humanity. They want to know if the creature can combine symbols, think rationally. It is during this delay at the airport's customs station that the snowman manages to escape the icebox, which was apparently meant to confine him temporarily only. The snow creature roams the city, terrorizing a woman, finding refuge in the cool temperature of the city sewers, as well as meat lockers where it can also feed. The police, aided by Parrish, managed to track the Yeti through the sewer system to where the creature is caught in a net and it is grabbed by 5 men. As the creature resists, it starts to choke one of the men through the mesh. One of the men shoots the creature once, who then stops choking the man. There is a pause after the choke man had been released, and then the man with the gun decides to shoot the rare creature with 3 more slugs just for good measure. Shoot first, ask questions later. The snow creature was one of the first of several Yeti Abominable Snowman themed movies. It also bore some resemblance to King Kong in terms of plot, with Act 1 in an exotic setting and Act 2 taking place in an urban setting. The use of the Los Angeles storm drain system as the film's climatic setting can also be seen in the 1954 film Them. Them! Them! We love Them. The first half of the movie takes place in an undisclosed Himalayan country, but the actors portraying the locals speak Japanese. They say moshi moshi when they pick up the phone. Another geographical improbability occurs with the return flight the main characters take, which heads west from India to California via TWA. The monthly film bulletin wrote, a weak offshoot of the science fiction school. we like that kind of movie here on this channel. The snow creature itself is an unconvincing monster, and the manner in which it repeatedly moves a step forward, followed by a few steps backward, always in the dark, becomes irritating. I think it's great. I love it. Later scenes are better contrived than the Himalayan episodes, though the finale in the sewers is hackneyed and unenterprisingly managed. Yeah, we love low-budget Z-grade movies on this channel. Give me some more. Give me some more. Some of Floyd Crosby's lighting effects are intriguing, but otherwise there is little to commend in this mediocre production. Give me more. Variety wrote, Snow Creature is a Bush League science fiction. We love Bush League science fiction on this channel. Produced on a minimum budget. Yes. Picture discloses an amateur script, pedestrian direction, repetitive footage, and uniformly unconvincing performances. Paul Langton as the botanist, Leslie Dennison as his assistant, and Tiro Shimada as the Tibetan guide walk through the roles in colorlessly deadpan style, as does the rest of the supporting cast. Nothing wrong with that. We love poor acting, low budget, poor acting, and bad direction. Film critic Leonard Maltin awarded the film 1.5 out of 4 possible stars, calling it dull. We like dull, low budget, black and white science fiction with bad acting and bad directing. TV Guide wrote, Billy Wilder's talentless brother put together this fourth-rate abominable snowman film, the first and the worst. The reviewer also called the film's monster costume phony. It looks like they got it from a Halloween store. The film was featured in an episode of Deadly Cinema. All right, here we go. Adrian's in the chat room. It must be daytime in Australia. We got 3 in the chat room. The Abominable Snowman with Peter Cushing. Oh, I'm going to have to check that one out. I'm going to add it to my list. We love Yeti films on this channel. It gets a very low 3.3 out of 10 on IMDb. You got to see the movie poster. It's it's one of the best that I've ever seen. 1,200 ratings on IMDb. So it's not terribly obscure, but it gets a very low rating, which is a good thing on this channel. The Snow Creature, 1954, 1 hour, 9 minutes, perfect timing. American Botanical Expedition in the Himalayas. By the way, Adrian's in the chat room and two other people. Why is the chat room so full on Thanksgiving Day? American Botanical Expedition in the Himalayas stumbles across a Yeti den. They capture one and transport it back to Los Angeles, where it escapes while customs officials are debating whether it is animal or human. I think it just likes to steal women. And by the way, you can get this the Snow Creature, also known as Sasquatch Horror triple feature. You can get it on Alpha Video, or you can get the Sasquatch Horror triple feature. I don't know the other two movies on that one. Okay, more like this: Phantom from Space, Killers from Space, The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas, and Manster. I'm gonna have to look. I've seen Killers from Space. This is a lot like Killers from Space. Low budget sci-fi. We love that. Botanist Frank Parrish leads an expedition to the Himalayas to seek out new flora, accompanied by hard-boiled news reporter Peter Wells. With their lead guy, Subra, learns his wife has been kidnapped by a Yeti. Parrish disbelieves him, so the Sherpas commander commandeer the expedition at gunpoint, and they turn it into a search and rescue party. To Parrish's surprise, they discover a whole family of Yetis in the cave, and they are able to subdue the male and carry back to civilization to ship it to the USA for study. Subra is forgiven his acts because he was right after all. Wells, meanwhile, phones in the story, and Parrish finds his discovery shipped upright in a meat cooler to maintain its natural environment, detained in the US because Wells' story refers to it as a snowman, man, emphasis man, and a decision must be made whether this is a customs or an immigration matter. During this bureaucratic snafu, the creature escapes its containers and it disappears into Los Angeles, mysteriously appearing in different parts of the city. Parrish teams up with Police Lieutenant Dunbar to find the creature, which kills anyone who stands in its way. That's the storyline from Rich Warren. His email is Rich Wannon. His email is richwannon@worldnet.att.net. This low-budget release is believed to be the first U.S. film about the Yeti, although another film featuring a Yeti-like snowman, Pekka Patka Lumihina Jalgia, 1954, was released 4 months earlier. I'm going to have to check that one out. I can't even pronounce it. It looks like it's in, what is this? Oh, the first Yeti out the door was probably George Millet's Conquest of the Pole, released in 1919. That film featured a version of the Yeti before its folklore was associated with human-like footprints, which is when Western explorers in the Himalayas gave it the name the Abominable Snowman. Okay, so I've got 5 movies to look up. Conquest of the Pole, this I don't know. I don't know what country this Pekka Japakta movie is from, but I'll look up the other 3 more like this recommendations on IMDb, plus the silent film, plus the unknown foreign movie that has the looks like a comedy. All right, so I'll look up Phantom from Space, The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas with Peter Cushing. That's the one that Adrian is recommending. Gets a 6.4 on IMDb. And then you've got Manster. All right. When Dr. Parrish and Lieutenant Dunbar are talking with city engineer Edwards, the clock on the wall says 5:50. But when Edwards looks at his watch, it reads 3:40. Edited into Machada Nui, episode number 1.1 in 2007. All right. Here's a lower rating review on IMDb from KDWMS, dated March 23rd, 2003. KDWMS gives a 3 out of 10, very low rating, kind of similar to the 3.3 average on IMDb. And the title of the review on IMDb is Surpassed My Low Expectation. I set the bar high, and this movie met all of my expectations. I suppose you should approach this stuff with an open mind, but I have difficulty doing that. Those words written, my expectation for this were, quite frankly, pretty low. I know that it was a 1954 low-budget production. Therefore, I was prepared to tolerate the cheap old costumes and overabundance of no-action dialogue. I wanted to subject myself to this village of time. Sure, some of the responses were totally unrealistic, but looking past all the negatives, I still found some pros that, in my opinion, offset the anticipated cons. Some of that dialogue, to me, actually represented a try. Maybe I give it a barely passing grade because even the simpleton could follow the extremely uncomplex plot. Scientists captures living snow creatures in Himalayas and is able to return to LA where it escapes. Perhaps I would feel ripped off if I spent too much money to purchase a tape of this movie. Why would you? It's public domain. It's free on Cult Cinema Classics. I just watched it on Cult Cinema Classics for free. But having seen it on the satellite TV, which I think of as a more indirect flow of my dollars, my concern was mostly for my time, which I did not find totally wasted. Okay, so he's getting his bang for his buck on the satellite dish on his roof. The Shriek of the Sasquatch, or Shriek of the Mutilator. Are you talking about Shriek of the Mutilated? The great Roberta Findlay movie? Roberta Findlay? That's a great flick. I've already watched and reviewed it, although my review might have been vaporized by YouTube movies. Shockwaves and Bloodsuckers. Uh, so Adrian has a 3 DVD box set, which includes Abominable Snowman, Shockwaves, and Bloodsuckers. Shockwaves is a great film. I don't know about Bloodsuckers. I think I reviewed that one. That was another great film with him. The Shriek of the Mutilator. Adrian misspelled the title of the movie, Shriek of the Mutilated. And I know what movie he's talking about because I've already watched a review. It's one of the greatest Roberta Findlay movies of all time. Shockwaves. Yep, I've seen and reviewed Shockwaves. That's a great film. It's a Nazi zombie film. And Bloodsuckers. Is that? Bloodsuckers, also known as Incense for the Damned. I think I just reviewed that one. That was free on Tubi, right? That's the one where, yeah, I've already reviewed that one. All right. So very good. Adrian is on top of these Yeti movies, but I bet she hasn't seen Snow Creature. All right. So next three on my list are Jingle All the Way at number 1 from 1996. It looks like another stupid Arnold Schwarzenegger comedy. Then Home Alone 3, 1997, another Adrian recommendation, which has got to be better than the first two. I'm crossing my fingers. Love Laughs at Andy Hardy, 1946. So I'll get to those three hopefully tomorrow. I took a rather long 3-hour nap. Plus, Home Alone 2 was 2 hours long, man. Way too long. I was not crazy about Home Alone 2, but I am very much intrigued by the next three sequels in the Home Alone series: Home Alone 3, Home Alone 4, and whatever Home Alone 5 is called. I think 4 and 5 are both TV movies that get very low ratings on IMDb. So cool. Adrian's in the chat room. Adrian recommended The Abominable Snowman, which I was going to add anyway. But thank you for that. And then while I'm at, I'll add 4 more to my list based on this movie. So cool. If I can find them, that is. All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving, gobble, gobble. Welcome to my channel, Adrian Plus 2. And I'll try to upload 3 more tomorrow. I'm not doing anything tomorrow but watching, reviewing, and taking little nappy poos later.